Hello and welcome to Military Mayday, where we point out a few pieces on the chessboard. If you value quick info, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Let's get started here. Australia relocates hundreds of troops north to prep for possible conflict. Well, I wonder what conflict that could be. I believe northwards here is going to put you right in, let's see, Queensland, yeah, right there, northeast of Queensland. The Australian Army will relocate hundreds of infantry troops, tanks, and weaponry to the city of Townsville in northeast Queensland as it prepares to counter a possible future conflict in the Indo-Pacific. Yeah, and I guarantee it's when that next round of COVIDs comes through is when these troops are really going to be used the most. This article doesn't really say anything about getting ready for something like that. There's a bunch more articles on this, and I think this one's going to be one to keep an eye on because I believe they will use the Army on their own people to force lockdowns and probably more confiscation, stuff like that. I don't know. You tell me. Here's one here. Let's see, well, all the way back to the top. As Russia's war in Ukraine drags on, Kiev's neighbors are loading up on new high-tech military gear. Oh, you betcha they are. Oh, yeah, let's go over some of the high-tech military gear. Warsaw is replacing that hardware with modern Western weapons, expanding its arsenal in the process. Yeah, in September, Warsaw announced the purchase of 486 HIMARS launchers along with 45 ATACMS missiles and other rockets and warheads for $10 billion. Poland already bought 20 HIMARS systems in 2019 and is reportedly starting receiving the new batch in 2025. HIMARS has praised from their effectiveness in Ukraine and their ability to fire quickly to avoid counter-artillery fire. The ATACMS have a range of 190 miles, be fired from the HIMARS. Poland also announced in September $2 billion purchase of several hundred naval strike missiles in Norway. The NSMs have a range of 115 miles and are approximately designed to target ships, but can also be used against land targets. Poland will also buy 48 Patriot missile launchers and 12 lower-tier air and missile defense sensors, which is still in prototype phase. Okay. The U.S. State Department has approved Poland's request for 96 U.S.-made AH-64E Apache attack helicopters and a large complement of missiles for $14 billion. Wow. Warsaw is reinforcing its ground forces with 366 Abrams main battle tanks, 250 which are the advanced M1A2 variant. Poland announced a massive $14.5 billion purchase of 1,000 K2 Black Panther tanks, nearly 700 K9 self-propelled Howitzers, and 48 FA-50 combat aircraft from South Korea. Boy. So, looks like the neighbor states are arming up. Romania is also making major armed purchases to modernize and improve its ground and air forces. Romania plans to buy 54 U.S.-made M12 Abrams tanks for $1.1 billion and is seeking to purchase 150 Swiss-made Piranha 5 armored personnel carriers. Transition for Romania Air Force. Wait. It's now awaiting delivery on 32 F-16s from Norway. 32 F-35s is $6.5 billion. Go Romania. Romanian government sees South Korea as a potential supplier. There's those tanks. Them are pretty badass looking. Well, they're putting some dates up for 2025, and that's probably about right. That's an interesting looking fighter jet. It's a MiG, an old style one. All right, on to the next one. Mexican Army sends troops, helicopters, convoys into its towns to cut off drug cartels. Gee, maybe we should have done this some years back, Mexico. A little late on the draw, ain't you? Personally, they just armed the decent men and women down there. You wouldn't have all this cartel issue. Jinping purges senior officials with CCP's military. This is another interesting story. Chinese dictator Jinping's political purge of senior officials in the regime's military defense ministry has been capturing attention. He has removed select military leaders one after another, ostensibly because of corruption, but behind the scenes, many suspect that his actions are due to ongoing wars with CCP between leadership factions, and these figures opposition to Mr. Xi's policies and military strategies. At least 3 of 6 members of China's Central Military Commission have been missing from the public eye. On September 7th, it was reported that Li Shangfu, a CCP's Minister of National Defense, was under investigation on suspicion of corruption. Kai Shang-kun, an independent commentator, said the purging of Li Shangfu implies that Jinping has begun to purge those princelings who are second generation of the CCP's leaders. Yeah. Yo, Xi there ain't going to give up his power, lose it or anything. I don't know, that's one to keep an eye on too. The more purging of Chinese military, I don't know. I don't really care. They still can't beat us. All right, Navy to decommission littoral combat ships USS Little Water and USS Detroit this week. Yeah, I think this here. I'm gonna read that. The 2 Freedom Class LCS based in Naval Station Mayport, Florida, are some of the youngest ships in the fleet. The littoral combat ships both have less than 10 years in service. Little Rock was commissioned in 2017, Detroit in 2016. They're likely going to be transferred to other countries as foreign military sales cases. So it's just more weapon sales by the U.S. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. In fact, if there's anything wrong, it's with the military not being able to recruit enough people to get them in there. Originally designated ships, however, the fiscal 20 years class A specific mission set enables hull form and fleet concentration areas to align. Yeah, I think it's just weapon sales, and they just don't have probably the staff. It's a nice looking little ship. I mean, I would definitely take it. I bet it looks to be a bit advanced. All right. Ukraine's military confirms Wagner fighter returns to the front. Yeah. I'm going to read this out here. Let you kind of fill you in on this. These individuals are indeed among most well-trained among Russian forces, but their presence will not be a game changer. Although the media have already reported the return of Wagner contractors to Ukraine's battlefield, this is the first official confirmation of their presence by the Ukrainian military. Wagner fighters were a crucial component in the Russian invasion forces. They were primarily responsible for capturing the city of Bakhmut in Donetsk Oblast in May after a protracted siege. Following their insurrection against the Russian government in June, many of the Wagner Group fighters left for Belarus to provide training support to the Belarusian military. Both Ukraine and U.S. later said the mercenaries were no longer taking part in hostilities in Ukraine. However, reports emerged following Prigozhin's death that Wagner contractors began leaving Belarus for Russia. Belarusian dictator Alexander Lukashenko denied this information. Now, are they leaving Belarus for Russia to join Russia, or are they retaliating against what they think Russia did? You know, that's the question, right? Yeah, our world just keeps getting crazier and crazier. Ain't much little guys like you and I can do about it except talk, spread the word. Speaking of that, if you like all this, please like and subscribe to the channel. I want to thank you for watching. Till next time, toodaloo.